Episode, we've got 5 top tips to help you lose some weight, and we're starting right now. Welcome back to the Muscle Mage Show. I'm your host, the Muscle Mage, and in this episode, we've got 5 top tips to help you lose some weight, and we're starting right now. These tips can be used if you just want to drop a couple pounds, lose those love handles, or if you're trying to put on some muscle mass and trying to just get big. You can use these tips for either one of those. But before we get started, I think I need to change to a more appropriate outfit. Hold on a second. Now that's better. You're probably asking yourself, shouldn't we be in the kitchen if we're going to talk about dieting? I understand. I do. But dieting is actually more about your mindset than it is about anything you're eating, really. And that brings us to tip number 1. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it losing those couple of pounds, whether it's 5, 10, 20, 100? The second tip is actually going to be your goals. What are your goals? What do you want out of this diet? If you don't know what you want to get out of it, then how will you know when you got there? You just start walking down the street without a destination. How will you know when you've reached one? What do you want out of it? Do you just want to lose some weight? Do you want to start working out? Do you want a healthier relationship with food? If you don't set your goals properly, it doesn't matter what you're putting in your mouth. And tip number 3 rolls right off of that. What are your weak points? You have to already know what causes you to fail. But think to yourself, what are your triggers? What are the foods that you know if you start eating them, it's over? What are the circumstances and environments that you're around that you know you won't stick to your diet? Bob, Joe, Sally, Sue comes over to visit, they're gonna bring some cookies, Identify the things that you know trigger you. And tip number 4, pick 12 foods. I know what you're thinking, 12? What? Why 12? Let me tell you. The 3 basic macronutrients, it's protein, carbohydrates, and fats, right? So whatever you're going to eat, no matter the number you're trying to hit, you want to pick 4 of each of those. You want to pick 4 proteins, 4 fats, and 4 carbs. And the reason I'm saying this number, it's not a magic number, but sticking to these 12 gives you the freedom, right, that you don't feel restricted enough in your diet, and 2, you get to mix and match as much as you want to while staying within those foods. The beauty of this is, when you stick to these 12 foods, you get to pick them, right? And they can overlap, of course, but when you pick the 12 foods, you're in charge of your diet, which means you get to decide what you want to eat. That way, it doesn't matter if you're keto, paleo, South Beach, Atkins, whatever, and then you can adjust them to whatever numbers you're trying to hit. And tip number 5, commit. This is when you start and you say, I'm gonna follow this plan no matter what. It's so easy to make one mistake and start that snowball effect and continue, and then you end up not knowing where you are in your plans anymore. Committing is the most important step. If this video gave you any value, then go ahead and leave a like and leave a comment too if dieting is something that you've struggled with. What was your biggest struggle and how did you overcome? And which one of these tips is your favorite? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I want to be able to give more value to you in videos just like this. And if you haven't already, go ahead here and subscribe to stay updated on all the videos I've got coming out. Or click here for another food video that I'm sure you're going to love. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll see you in the next video.